Well, she finally spilled the tea, and trust me, it's hotter than a burrito that's been zapped in the microwave at high noon. If you've ever tuned into The View, you know it's less of a talk show and more of a gladiator arena dressed up in daytime television. Imagine microphones as swords, sharp-tongued hosts as warriors, and every episode loaded with fiery debates, sizzling one-liners, and enough controversy to keep Twitter spinning for days. That electric chaos is exactly what's hooked millions of viewers and crowned the show as the heavyweight champion of talk TV. But here's where it gets juicier. In a no-filter, no-holds-barred sit-down with Allison Schnack, Candace Cameron Bure didn't just pull back the curtain, she practically ripped it off the rails. What she revealed explains so much, like why the commentary sometimes feels as though it was drafted by a parrot that's had one too many espressos.
If I'm not wrong, because I don't know too much about The View, but I've seen definitely like some controversial clips online or on YouTube. That's a primarily liberal audience.
Oh yeah, it is. That whole show started and it's called The View because it's supposed to be 5 different viewpoints.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much one viewpoint.
That's what I picked up.
Yeah, there's usually like one token conservative. So I was that conservative for 2 years on this show.
But going into it, you knew that you were going to be that kind of token target.
Yeah.
All right, let's rewind and set the stage properly. Candace Cameron Bure joined The View as a co-host from 2015 to 2016, a time when the show still carried the illusion of being more casual coffee talk than a political battlefield. But even then, the undercurrents were shifting. It was like watching a sweet little puppy slowly transform into a full-blown drama llama right before your eyes. Behind the scenes, the producers seemed to make a deliberate choice. Why not reinvent the panel as overnight political pundits? Suddenly, every conversation needed to come with a hot take, whether the co-hosts were seasoned in policy debates or just learning what the word filibuster actually meant. The friendly banter was fading, and the sparks of controversy were already flying. And then, cue the chaos, Donald Trump entered the political arena. His arrival was less of a ripple and more of a fireworks factory exploding inside a silent library. Instantly, his name guaranteed ratings, headlines, and nonstop public outrage. Talk shows across America recalibrated faster than a cat balancing on a Roomba, and The View wasted no time jumping aboard the outrage express. Huge chunks of airtime became devoted to dissecting, debating, and often dismantling everything Trump touched. But here's the real head-scratcher. With all that turbulence brewing, what convinced Candace to step into the storm in the first place?
I tried to turn that job down.
Are you serious?
Multiple times.
That's so funny.
And I was like, I know they talk so much politics on the show and I'm not comfortable with that, so no. And then they came back and they were like, we're actually switching it. It's going to be more pop culture, more evergreen topics. We're not really going to talk about politics that much. And it was like, okay. And then I was like, well, I live in LA and I'm not moving to New York, so no. And they said, we'll fly you back and forth every week. We'll pay for the tickets every week.
The biggest open door.
They just kept upping the ante. Like everything I tried to say no to, they had a solution.
If anything, this proves the producers had one master plan until they realized politics wasn't just conversation, it was ratings gold. And the shift was so sharp it could have given viewers whiplash. Even Raven-Symoné, who shared the panel with Candace, spilled the tea in her signature, unfiltered way. She confessed it felt like a total bait-and-switch. I thought I signed up for pop culture, fun, and exciting conversation. Instead, I got catfished, and I learned a tough lesson. That single statement speaks volumes. Because let's be real, this wasn't Barbara Walters' original vision. The View was designed as a cultural roundtable, a melting pot of women from different generations and walks of life, sharing perspectives on everything from family to fashion to world events. It was meant to feel like pulling up a chair at a lively, opinionated dinner table. But somewhere along the line, it veered into something else entirely, a high-stakes political smackdown where dissent wasn't just debated, it was practically dogpiled. And Candace didn't mince words when describing how her co-hosts prepared for their segments. Some of the behind-the-scenes routines she revealed were enough to make your head spin and your sanity quietly start drafting divorce papers.
How did did you prepare for each and every episode?
Girl, I have never prepared like I have prepared for that show in my life, okay? You basically get a packet of about 80 topics the night before because they're all current events. They keep moving and changing, whatever happens in the news cycle. So I would spend probably a minimum of 4 hours each night researching all 80 topics so I could understand what I didn't understand.
Yeah.
And then on the morning of, with the hosts and the producers, they break it down. We go through all 80 topics and then pinpoint maybe 7 or 8 of those that we're actually going to discuss on the show.
I've got to say, this right here perfectly explains why The View sometimes dishes out takes so questionable they should probably come with a public safety warning. Let's be honest, skimming a couple of headlines the night before doesn't suddenly transform you into a political strategist. That strategy might have gotten you through a last-minute college exam, but on national television? With millions of viewers dissecting every word? There's no bluffing your way out of that. And the giveaway is almost impossible to miss. The moment someone's knowledge maxes out at the headline level, you can practically see the gears turning. Suddenly, they're tossing buzzwords into the conversation like it's a ticker tape parade. Layer in a little overconfidence, and boom, you've got instant "I have no idea what I'm talking about" energy. Viewers have spotted it so often, you could practically turn it into a drinking game. Take a shot every time Sunny, Joy, or Whoopi lean too hard on the buzzword crutch. And Candace? She didn't hold back when asked about it later. In interviews, she laid it all out, no filters, no sugarcoating, just the messy, chaotic truth of what it really felt like behind that glossy table.
I don't miss The View at all. I love being on talk shows. I love hosting talk shows,
Right.
but that was a hard job every single day in, day out, talking politics.
Yeah. And
So-
Christianity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my faith, that was the easiest part for me to be able to talk about my faith and share my faith. But I'm happy right now not to be on that show and talk about lighter topics.
In a fiery opinion piece for the Daily Mail, Meghan McCain lobbed a truth bomb that still echoes. She wrote, "I was on The View to be the conservative voice. They must have thought I was the kind of Republican they could tolerate. But little did they know, it's not just the so-called extremists they despise. It's anyone who dares to have a different perspective." And honestly, she's not wrong. That's practically the unspoken job description. Step into the ring as the token conservative, endure a daily 4-on-1 brawl, and try not to get completely steamrolled. The second you veer away from the approved narrative, the claws come out. Suddenly, you're facing eye rolls so dramatic they could qualify as cardio, interruptions sharp enough to slice steel, and conversational gymnastics so wild they'd put Olympic floor routines to shame. And looming over it all, the audience. That unofficial fifth co-host, quick to boo, cheer, or gaslight you in surround sound. Sure, the paycheck has a lot of zeros attached, but is it worth being verbally tag-teamed every day? That's where the debate gets interesting. Candace herself revealed exactly how she managed this high-wire act, and let's just say, her strategy might explain why the conservative chair on The View flips over faster than a pancake at your local diner.
Different reactions when you're put under pressure. So they talk about fight or flight. Like, do
Right.
you fight? Are you ready to go for it, or do you want to take off? Like, you want to
Right.
hide and you want to run? And I would say I am a flight person.
Really?
I don't love conflict. I'm not afraid of it. I like resolution. So I'm always happy to have the discussion because I like directness and I like resolution. But I'm not like. My gut reaction is not to fight with people. I want to take a hike. So with that, I think my disposition helped me in that when people really come at me, I don't get super riled up. Like, I don't put on the boxing.
Let's be real. Trying to survive an entire episode with Joy Behar and Sunny Hostin tag-teaming you is like stepping into a verbal thunderstorm without an umbrella. The non-stop interruptions, the rapid-fire shouting, the dramatic hand gestures slicing through the air, it's enough to make even the most seasoned debater question their life choices. Their energy dominates the table so completely, you almost forget anyone else is sitting there. And here's the million-dollar question. Are Joy and Sunny the very fuel that keeps the view alive, or are they secretly the ticking time bomb that could one day bring it all crashing down? Maybe their fiery presence is the chaotic charm that viewers can't look away from. Or maybe, just maybe, it's the show's biggest Achilles heel. So what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments, let's hash this out.